Alright, welcome back everybody. So today we're going to be continuing on with learning how to lose weight. So far in the series we've talked about the general premise and the main principle of losing weight, CICO, calories in versus calories out, which we learned is stupid simple. We've also learned how to find how many calories you burn each day, which is super simple. And now we're going to take it to the next step in trying to figure out a plan and how to set up a plan that works for you to reach your weight goals. And you probably guessed it, it's really hard. No, I'm just kidding. It's super simple. So to do this, we're actually going to move to the computer. So go ahead, follow me, and let's get started. So really quick before we start game planning, it's really important that you know how many calories that you burn in a day, aka your total daily energy expenditure. So if you don't know that, I'm going to put a card pop up here. You can click on that, or I'm going to link the video that I already did to show you how to do that. So once you get that number, come back here and we can continue on how to use that number to calculate your goals. So what we are going to be doing is creating a SMART goal right here. So I'm a teacher. I feel like every teacher is mandated to talk about SMART goals at least once per year. So here we go. Creating a SMART plan going forward is going to be vital for you to be reaching your goals. So I think of it as a ship leaving the harbor, right? So a ship has an end goal, like to cross the ocean to maybe bring goods across the ocean. I don't know, whatever ships do. So when the ship is going across, right, the captain and the crew have a plan and they get prepared going forward for what they need to do, right? So with the good preparation, make sure the ship's intact, they have enough resources, they know where they're going, all their equipment is going to be in good condition. 99 out of 100 times they're going to get there. However, you start the ship up and you just send it out of the harbor with no crew, no one steering it, no one navigating it, right? It probably won't end up anywhere significant, right? It's not going to hit its end goal if it even gets out of the harbor. It'll crash, it'll blow up in spectacular fashion, it'll be screaming, it'll be amazing, right? So we need to get prepped and ready for our weight loss journey here. So if you don't know what a SMART goal means, it's an acronym. So S means specific. So you need to have your details planned out beforehand in order to go forward. M is measurable, right? You need to be able to track what we're doing, right? If you go on your weight loss journey and you don't actually make sure that you're losing weight each and every single week, you don't actually know whether you are achieving your goals or you're just wasting your time. Next is going to be attainable. So is your goal actually possible to achieve, right? So if your goal is to lose 300 pounds in one day, that is not possible, right? So you need to make sure that your goal is at least in the confines of possibility. R is relevant. Does this goal actually go towards and help you get what you want? And finally, timely. Is that how you spell timely? Huh, yeah, it is. See, I'm smart. So you need to figure out when you want to achieve your goal by. So knowing all of these is going to be really important to set up the framework for you to reach your goals. So what we're going to do next is we're going to create an example plan. So your plan might be different, but this should just be a very general basic plan for you to follow. We are going to use each step of our SMART goals to create an example plan that you can follow along and change and modify as you go. So specific, right? So specific, your goal is to lose weight. So weight loss. More specifically, you might want to say we want to lose fat. Measurable. Is it measurable? Yes. We can weigh ourselves every morning. So we can use a scale and tracker, so that can literally just be writing it on a piece of paper, writing it down in your phone, spreadsheet if you're a big nerd like me. Attainable, so let's say that we want to lose weight, and let's say we want to lose 20 pounds, right? So is it attainable? Yes, losing 20 pounds has been done many times, right? So it is very achievable. Is it relevant? Is losing 20 pounds relevant for you losing weight? Yeah, I would say so. And then timely. So let's say you have a wedding to go to, and let's say it's about 3 months out, right? So can you achieve this goal within 3 months? which is the same as 12 weeks. And this is very attainable. So you can see that we check off all of our aspects of the SMART goal. So now we're good to go forwards. Okay, so we've established that we want to lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks. So this is going to be our baseline that we are going to operate under. So if you watched past videos, you know that the average male burns 2,500 calories per day, right? So this is going to be the basis and the framework for how we are going to set up these calories. So normally I recommend losing about 1 pound of body weight per week. This is a good balance between going fast enough to get decent results, but it minimizes the downsides of losing weight, which we'll talk about in a future episode. So I recommend not going too aggressive, but again, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so we've established our goal as we want to lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks. So how do we set up our calories to do that? So first of all, we need to figure out how many pounds a week that actually is in order to reach our goals. So if we have 20 pounds to lose, we have 12 weeks to do so. We put W for weeks. That's going to give us 1.67 pounds per week that we have to lose. From here, we need to figure out how much of a calorie deficit that we need to be in order to lose the weight that we need. So if we need to lose 1.6 pounds, we need to know how many calories are going to be in a pound. So this is going to be a really key number. I recommend you knowing like the back of your hand. 1 pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. So again, get this number into your head, know it like the back of your hand, because as you go forward and make your own weight loss goals, knowing that number is going to be vital. So when it comes to losing this weight now, we have to figure out how many calories 1.6 pounds actually is, right? So what we need to do here is take our 3,500 calories. We need to multiply that by 1.67, right? So we know this is 1 pound, so we have 3,500 calories per 1 pound of fat. Pounds per week, right? So our pounds of fat are going to cancel out. So then we take 3,500 times 1.67, and that is going to give us 5,800, I didn't catch that last part, 45 calories per week that we have to burn, right? So we need to eat 5,845 calories less per week than we need to maintain in order to reach our weight loss goals. So I'm gonna clear this out really quick. To best do this, we need to track calories by our day, right? So a day is a perfect time frame for us to keep our calorie measurements manageable, but still not being meticulous. So we know that there are 7 days in a week, right? So what we need to do here is divide this by 7, right? So there's 7 days in a week. So 5,845 calories divided by our 7 days in a week will give us 800, I really need to look at these more, 835 calories per day that we need to be in a deficit of in order to reach our 1.67 pounds lost per week, which then in the long term will equal over 12 weeks our 20 pounds that we're trying to lose. So if you remember from our previous video, the average male needs about 2,500 calories per day in order to maintain their weight. So they won't gain any fat, they won't lose any fat, they'll keep the weight exactly as it is. So to lose weight, we know that we have to eat less calories than we need to maintain, and we use our body fat to make up those extra calories that we didn't eat. So to get the amount of calories that we need to eat per day, we take our TDEE. So if you watched that video that I recommended before, you should know what this number is. I'm just going with 2,500 as a just baseline. And then you subtract that 835 calories per day. So my camera thought it'd be really funny if it died on me, but let's keep going. We get 1,665 calories per day. Calories per day. And this is what you need to eat per day in order to reach your goals, right? So if you eat 1,665 calories every single day for those 12 weeks, you will end up losing that 20 pounds over that 12 weeks, and you will have reached your goal. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pop up on the screen a couple of common weight loss goals, right? So 1/2 pound, 1 pound, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds per week. Any more than that, you're getting pretty aggressive and I wouldn't recommend it. So take a look at these numbers here and how much of a deficit you need to be in each day in order to reach your goals. However, if you want to gain weight, the principle is pretty much the same, except that you just need to go in the opposite order. Instead of reducing the calories that you need to eat those extra calories, right? So if we were gonna do the same example, if you wanted to gain 20 pounds in 12 weeks, you would still have this 835 calorie number per day, except instead of subtracting it, you would be adding it, and instead that would leave you with 2,500 plus. This time, since we're trying to gain weight, we're eating an extra 835 calories more than we need. That will bring you to 3,355 calories. If you eat that every single day, you'll gain 20 pounds in that 12 weeks if that's your goal. However, if you're trying to gain weight, especially if you're trying to gain muscle mass, I recommend going much slower at about half the speed that you would for normal weight loss. So I recommend trying to gain about 1/2 pound per week, because muscle protein synthesis, building muscle, is a lot slower of a process than gaining fat is. So you can't build up as much muscle, otherwise the rest of the calories that you're gonna eat are just gonna turn into fat instead of muscle, which if your main goal is just to gain muscle, then that would be an issue, right? So just try to take it slow in that regard. Okay, so now that we have our goal calories, now it's time to make sure that this is actually the right number and that we're achieving our goals at the rate that we want. So now it's time to get yourself one of these. Well, if you want to know what my camera setup looked like behind, there you go. So get yourself a scale or some way you can measure your weight, and you want to make sure that you're going down by whatever weight your goal was. So every single day, hop onto that scale and make sure that you're recording how much that you actually weigh. Some days you might notice your weight is higher than you would like. Some days you might notice that your weight is lower. And that's completely normal, that your weight is going to fluctuate every single day. It might be a little higher, might be a little lower. It all depends on your activity levels, what you ate, did you have a lot of sodium or carbs, right? So don't be too bogged down by the number. Hey, so really quick, I forgot to mention something. So when you want to measure yourself every single day, you also want to do it at the exact same time every day, right? Eliminate as many variables as possible to get your weight as consistent every single day. But of course, that isn't always going to happen, but we can try our best. So the best time to do this would be right away in the morning. Do your business and then hop on the scale right from there, and that should give you the most consistent results day to day. But of course, if that doesn't work, just try to pick a time that works and just try to do it every single day from there out to keep it as consistent as possible. Okay, I'm gonna put you back now. Thanks, bye. So at the end of the week, what I want you to do is take all of your weights for that week and average them all out, right? So 7 days in a week, take all of your weight, divide by 7, and it will give you your average weight for that week. And that's the number that you really want to pay attention to. So then you're going to do that again week after week after week, averaging each week out, and you're going to compare those weekly averages to see where you end up. If you're losing too much weight, you're going to want to eat a couple extra calories to make sure you don't go too aggressively. If your weight loss is too slow, you might have to up the amount you move, the amount of calories that you burn, or you're gonna have to eat a little bit less to reach your goals. So I know hopping on the scale can be really scary for some people, but some good advice that I got when I was starting my fitness journey and losing weight was that the number on the scale doesn't actually matter. The only thing that matters is where that number goes over time, right? So if you're at 300 pounds, for example, right? Okay. So if you're at 300 pounds, for example, that 300 pound number doesn't matter at all. All that really matters is that you drop week by week. So let's say, for example, you're trying to lose by 1 pound per week. If that scale is saying 299 after a week, 298, 297, 296. It's the progress and where those numbers are going is what actually matters. So don't be scared to jump on the scale. Don't care about the number. Just figure out where the number is going. Don't let that number weigh you down. Pun 100% intended. And as you see the results, those results are actually extremely addicting, right? The dopamine rush that you get every time you hit a new goal, a new low, is totally worth it and makes it very addictive and very enjoyable. So the hardest part is just getting started. Once you get rolling, the progress will just keep coming and coming as you see those numbers coming down. So go ahead, get started, start jumping on that scale, recording your weight and watching that weight go lower, 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 and adjusting as you need. And now as you get started on your weight loss journey and start recording your weight, here are some things that I wish that I knew when I got started. So go ahead, click that video. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.